let's talk seam allowances and guiding the fabric properly based on the pattern that you have selected. Every designer is going to note a different seam allowance. Traditional garment sewing is usually a 5/8 inch seam allowance. So as you stitch, you're going to run the edge of your fabric along the mark that says 5/8. It's also very similar to the mark that's marked for 15 millimeters on the throat plate here. This has both the metric and the inches on it, which is really nice since these machines do travel from country to country here. Okay, so next, we've got different markings from 1/2 inch to 1/4 inch. Some of the marks are actually on this little door above your bobbin area, so you can see and use those as you need. But what happens if you want to go ahead and do multiple rows that are parallel to each other? That's where the seam guide comes in. So you can come in here, and actually the seam guide is going to fit kind of in the back of the white ankle. There's only one place to kind of push it in, and it's kind of stiff because once you slide it in there, you don't want to bump it and have it move. Here's all you do. If we want perfectly parallel rows, instead of marking your machine, or again, if you need to do a hem that's maybe a 3-inch hem, say on the bottom of a curtain, you can go ahead and set that out here. Follow with your eye way over here, not over here. Follow the guide out on the edge and see how that will keep you nice and even. But let's say you want to do the same row, one right after the other. You can go ahead and set that for whichever distance you want. I'll usually use some type of measuring tool and measure so I get it exactly. If I want it 1 inch apart, then they're perfectly spaced. And then just line up the seam guide over the line you're following. So it's nice, you only have to draw one line or use it first along the edge of the fabric. And then go ahead and, again, I'm watching way over here. Feels a little odd not watching the needle. And then for row after row, you can go ahead and just put that guide right over the previous row that you just sewed. You know, honestly, I cannot sew straight. I don't know anybody who actually can without some type of helpful tool, the guide or the lines on the throat plate.